Good morning, evening, and night, everyone. Lemon here, and today we're going to be talking about a lot of news for Union Arena. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, I want to talk about the message from the producers of Union Arena coming on their official YouTube channel on November 15th. Going to be talking to different voice actors, talking about JJK product. They might be showing off that 3-star cereal or just a 3-star in person because we've seen a lot of the AAs already at different events and conventions and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping they'll show off that 3-star in person. We'll get to see the foiling and stuff. It'll be really cool. They'll also be talking about Demon Slayer and Code Geass. We don't know what. They just said new information on Demon Slayer and Code Geass, as well as new information on Bandai Card Fest Orlando, an event I'm going to be attending and I'm super excited for and cannot wait for that event in general. Going over the set release dates that we know so far from distributors and from the main site, of course, November 22nd being JJK, can't wait for that, right around the corner. Code Geass at the end of the year for December 13th. Demon Slayer coming out January 24th. One Punch Man having a global release date. Really cool that we have global release dates for the sets, coming out on February 28th for the starter deck, and then March 7th for the booster set, following that 1 week trend of release of the starter deck and the booster sets, the same that we saw for Hunter x Hunter and Bleach. Now we do know for Sword Art Online, the starter deck is coming out April 25th according to distributors, and is projected that the main set will come out on May 2nd, unless if they pull a JJK where they release the set and the starter on the same day. We don't know that for sure yet, but these are the dates that we're looking at for Sword Art Online. Going into Black Clover, we have a set release date from distributors of May 30th, and if again following the same trend, the starter deck would release on May 23rd. Now, we did get a bonus teaser of Bleach Volume 2 already coming to the English side on May 30th as well. So we're getting a double release for May 30th and maybe a triple release for the month of May in general with Sword Art Online for Union Arena, which is really crazy. But you got to think not everybody buys every single set. If you do, get your wallets ready for May because it's going to be a busy month. Now you might be asking, what about, Full Metal Alchemist, one of the most anticipated hot sets, I'd say, for English. People are really, really excited for this, and I think it's going to draw even more and more people into the game. Full Metal Alchemist, of course, being a favorite among a lot of people. Early days of their anime watching experience is also coming out in Japan. That's why we don't have a release date for it. In my opinion, we haven't been given any information on this set because Japan just announced recently as well that they are beginning this set as well. So I think it's going to be the same as One Punch Man and getting another global release set, which is really cool. Love global releases, love Full Metal, so really excited for this. Can't wait to have a date on this as well. Next up, I want to talk about the release events for both JJK and Code Geass. The last two release events for this year, so the last two sets. Get excited because JJK is happening this month on November 22nd. So on release day, actually, for the actual set, until November 28th is the actual release event that's going to be happening, which is kind of interesting that it's not a little bit before, but I guess with sets releasing every month, there's a little bit of a time crunch. Now, both the JJK and the Code Geass, and I imagine every set going forward, we are following the same rules that we had in Bleach and Hunter x Hunter, that being the 5-pack battle rule. So if you don't know, you open up 5 packs, you use every single card, 35-minute rounds, stuff like that. If you want to know for more information about the rules, that is definitely on the website, so be sure to check that out. Let's go ahead and get into the cards that you'll be getting for JJK. Of course, we have a Gojo, and we're getting a release event stamped of this for participation. Of course, we're also, for participation, going to get the release event pack, which contains 2 cards of all the common and uncommon cards have a release event stamp on it. It looks really cool, really nice, and another way to bling out your deck. And of course, if you win the event, you'll get the winner stamped card. We expect the same foiling as we did get on the Bleach and Hunter x Hunter winner cards. So again, a really cool collector piece for people that love JJK like myself and stuff like that. So I'm really, really excited for this event as well because they're a lot of fun to play in. Now getting into the booster set and the starter deck for JJK. Really excited for this. They're both releasing on November 22nd, so really interesting that that's happening. But hey, you know what? I'll take it. We get the release event, the starter deck, and the booster set all on the same day. So really excited for that. Of course, we're really excited for the booster set because we still get box toppers, which are really cool. All the box toppers. We have Nabara, Megami, Yuji, Nanami, Toto, and Mahito. They're all really, really useful cards in a deck. So again, another way to bling out your deck. You have the release event, you have the box toppers, stuff like that. And they're all the zeros. Bandai does a really good job at choosing these box toppers. I really love it. Hopefully keep this theme up and stuff like that. Now going into the actual cards and stuff like that, for the booster set, we do know what the 3-star looks like. It's this Yuji here, and this is just going to be the 3-star. There's no signature or anything like that. I think it looks pretty good. It's probably going to have some pretty good foiling on it. The Bleach one, I know that I saw in person for that 3-star did have really good foiling. This might be talked about also in that producer's message that I talked about earlier. We don't know, but I hope they show off this card, and I really hope they show off the real good chase for this set, which is going to be the serial version of this card. So yes, there'll be a normal version and then the serial version. The serial version is only 100 copies. Only 100 copies of that card. That's insane. For a serial card, it's going to be so rare. Yeah, I hope I pull it, but I am going to try to, go into the test thinking I'm going to get an F and be happy when I get a B type of situation, because I don't think we're going to pull this, knock on wood or whatever, but yeah, it's going to be insanely rare, and box prices are probably going to be really expensive at first, and they're going to slowly drop down as more and more copies of the serial get pulled, because this is the ultimate chase card for this set. Now going into the starter deck, the card list and everything for JJK is fully released on their website, which is really cool. You could start looking at all the cards, deck building, and going into all that nonsense. But importantly, I want to note that for the starter deck, which is available on the website as well, we do have missing cards behind both of the SRs for the Sukuna and the Megami, which have like a coming soon placeholder, which they use for all their alternate arts. So this tells me that we're going to be definitely getting English exclusive alternate arts for the SRs, just like we did in Bleach and Hunter x Hunter. Can't wait to see what these look like, because the Sukuna is a staple card in the blue Sukuna finger deck. Of course, it is a really good card, and definitely going to be probably running 4 of it, and it's got an alternate art, so I'm really excited for what that's going to look like. Of course, we also have the Action Point alternate art, which has been released already and shown off here. It's got kind of like a brown schema to it, with the colors popping from Yuji and Gojo. Really cool. It's going to be foil. I'm be happy if I pull either the SRs or the Action Points, because I definitely didn't pull any for the other 2 sets. But JJK is my baby here, so we're definitely excited for this set. Jumping right into Code Geass release event, which will be happening December 13th. Again, this is the same exact time as the release date for Code Geass. So the release events, I guess because they're, coming out every month, these sets, that they're going to tend to be around the actual release day, which I'm fine with. We get to get more packs and stuff like that. Still super excited to play in these events. If you haven't played in these events, they are pretty fun to play, and having these weird interactions because of having all the colors just simply in your deck is a lot of fun, and you definitely don't know what your opponent has, so it is a lot of fun to do these events. The Code Geass, we have the Lelouch for the participation release stamp event card here, looking pretty cool, with his gun and stuff. We watched all of Code Geass while I was sick over the month of October, and it's a really good show, and I really did enjoy it. So I'm actually pretty excited for Code Geass as well. Of course, we're getting the release event stamped cards. There's 75 in the Code Geass set of commons and uncommons to collect as well. I don't know if I'm going to be going for a master set of Code Geass like I will be for JJK, but maybe. We'll see. And lastly, the winner card. Of course, the same as the release event participation, we have the release event winner card, stamp, whole 9 yards. We're pretty used to it, but it is a really cool looking card and can't wait for that. Going into the booster set, the booster set is going to be pretty interesting for Code Geass. We don't have like a card list or anything like that. We've been shown off some of the alternate arts that you see here. We do also know the box toppers for the set, a bunch of the 0-1s. Again, Bandai's doing a good thing here. We have the Colin, Zero, Suzaku, Cornelia, Suzaku again, but for red, and Lelouch. And these all are used in every color deck. So these again, I'm really happy with the box topper route that they're doing. The alternate arts do look really good so far, so can't wait to see some of the texturing and stuff like that in person. But most of all, this 3-star looks insane. I don't like to look at a lot of alternate arts from like Japanese before they're shown off in English, and so I'm just here in the moment seeing this, and the black dark background with that red, even though this is a purple card, with that red popping from the Geass from his eye and the back. Oh my god, this card looks really, really good. Gonna be really cool if I pull this card. It's gonna have really good texturing and it's gonna look really cool. And most of all, this card is also getting a serial number. We don't know how many yet. It might be the same as JJK where it's 100, but Code Geass is confirmed to have a serial 3-star as well. So get excited if you're a Code Geass fan, because this card already is probably going to look insanely good, but it's going to have a serial, so that's going to be another chase, and it's going to be really, really cool to see if anybody pulls that. Now, you might be thinking, where's the starter deck? Because there was a starter deck released in Japan for Code Geass. Now, we are getting the starter deck, but it's going to be built into our booster set. So instead of releasing a separate product, they just put it all together. There's going to be a total of 108 cards in our booster box, unlike normal booster boxes, which have 100 cards for Union Arena. That's the standard, really. So 108 cards, because we get those cards that we would have gotten exclusively from the starter deck added into the set as well. And if you go through and figure out of all the commons, uncommons, and stuff like that, we are actually missing one rare from the set, which is really, really interesting. People are speculating on which card it is, and everybody seems to be gravitating towards Nunnally, because Nunnally is a banned card in Code Geass. Restricted, I wouldn't say banned, it's restricted to 1 in the set, in a deck, and it has been for a while. It still is. It's such a strong card. Of course, a 1/1 red card, really, really strong with the Ashford Academy build. So they might be just doing the, Harukia Odahime trick again on us and just not printing the card instead of banning it, which, the deck doesn't need it. It is a very, very, very good card, especially if you have multiple of these on the field. Just it being at 1 was actually still pretty strong in the games that I played and the testing I've done. So the fact that they might not print this card is also not very surprising. So Code Geass going to be a really fun set to collect for, getting that 3-star serial as well, same as JJK. Those insane chase cards going to be probably so hard to get. Only 100, that's insane, but it's going to be really cool if you pull one. So good luck if you're trying to go for those. Lastly, I do want to cover, they did release the full card list for JJK, as I mentioned, but they also released FAQ and ruling area. They did release a bunch of rulings and questions that people have about the cards and stuff like that, just like they did with Bleach and Hunter x Hunter. So if you want to check out some of those interactions and that Q&A type stuff, it's all on the main website, so go ahead and check that out. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I really enjoy Union Arena and love this content. If there's any new crazy stuff coming out on November 15th on that video message we talked about at the beginning of the video, I'll definitely be making a community post about that. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, check that out. And I hope everybody is excited as I am for the rest of this year and going into Bandai Card Fest. Can't wait. I love this game and I love everything about it. So I hope that you enjoy the video again, and have a good night.